besties, if you've ever struggled to get a job in the healthcare industry, then today's video is just for you. Welcome to day 1 of 15 days challenge on you getting your job in the healthcare industry. Now for today, we are going to deal with 3 main chapters. The first is why the healthcare industry, second, types of roles in the healthcare industry, and the third being the documents you need in the healthcare industry. Now let me clarify what I mean by the healthcare industry, because that is such a broad term. The healthcare industry includes care workers, support workers, occupational therapists, nurses, social workers, physiotherapists. It is a large industry. In fact, it even includes some professionals that are not in healthcare per se, but their skills are relevant in the healthcare industry. Now for this challenge, even though it can actually apply to various professionals that I've just mentioned, we are going to focus on care workers and support workers. And the reason I'm doing that is, let's start already. Number 1, why healthcare? Or in this context, why care and support work? The reason is very simple. These are the most accessible jobs, especially for a newbie in the UK, because my context geographically is for people in the UK. Of course, if you are in the US, in Canada, Australia, you will benefit from these videos, but my context is for us in the UK. Now, when you come to the UK, especially if you are funding yourself, you would realize that the easily accessible jobs are cleaning jobs, warehouse jobs, care and support jobs. Now when I say easily accessible, I don't mean you cannot get jobs in other industries, but if we are being frank with ourselves, the initial jobs that are open, especially with no experience, because in this UK experience is extremely important. If you're a newbie, you can get any kind of job if you want, but if you need that survival job, aka let me just get something whilst looking for something else. There are a lot of people that started as care workers and today they've left it because they've moved over to other things. Now there are also some people that this job is not just a survival job, but it is their main job based on their skills, their experiences, or what they want for themselves. Then there's the third group of people that I fall under, that care and support work is like a good pathway to their main job. So in case you don't know, I'm a social worker in the UK, and doing care and support work was very valuable for me because it helped me get valuable experience, hands-on experience as a care or support worker before finally being a social worker. Now whether you want to get into this industry for survival as an end goal or as a pathway to your main goal, you are welcome. It does not matter. The most important thing is the dignity of labor. You are currently doing whatever you can do to make ends meet or to hold on to your visa status, because doing healthcare jobs give you like a faster chance at getting a visa sponsorship jobs, because healthcare jobs are in the shortage occupation list because they are jobs that are high in demand. So now we've covered that part. Let's talk about types of healthcare jobs. Now, as I said, my context is still care and support workers. So now it's not just care work, support work. There are various aspects of it. You will hear various names: healthcare assistant, care worker, support worker, domiciliary, residential, this, that. Let me just break down a lot of these things because some of these terms are just used interchangeably. Let me address the key terms. A care worker is someone that works to support individuals that are vulnerable, and you're supporting them with a lot of things, especially their personal care, their grooming, their toileting needs, their nutrition. A lot of these people that you're supporting are people that cannot do these things without you, so you are caring for them. You could also be caring for older people in dementia wards, people that they don't even remember where their teeth is to brush. Those are care workers if that is your job role. People collate it with support work because sometimes some job roles you really don't know if you are even a care worker or a support worker. But support work is, as the name implies, you are supporting. So a lot of these people you are supporting, they are vulnerable, yes, but a lot of them you are supporting them to promote their independence because they need that support. A lot of these people you are supporting, they may need that support, but some of the basic needs they can actually meet it themselves. A lot of them can do their toileting needs themselves, but there are still some aspects of life that they need support. And it's important to know this distinction, because sometimes you can call yourself a support worker, but actually you're a care worker, and there is nothing wrong with that. Just know the distinctions. Now, even with this, whether it's care or support work, there are still various dimensions to it. For instance, there is one they call domiciliary care. That's the one you move from house to house. That was my first job in the UK, and I was so glad when that job ended, not because of anything intrinsically wrong with the job, but the company that I was with was such that they would not pay you for the time you are moving in between houses. So for instance, if I walk from house A to house B in like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, that time will be unaccounted for. It is the time I spent in the house that I would now be paid for, which of course was such a short change, because I could spend a lot of hours, and when I get my pay slip, it's not really commensurate. So from that domiciliary care work, I then found a support work that was better for me. Now, you can be watching me now and you are doing domiciliary care, it does not matter, but ensure that your company is not trying to play you. At the very least, you should get some compensation for that walking distance that you are doing. But even if you're not getting that, and maybe you are new to the UK, please, that is still a good survival job, because with time you get whatever you really desire. Because one thing I've learned is, once you have one job in this UK, it becomes easier to get more jobs because you already have that job experience. Now, there is also you working as a nursing assistant. So some people can call it nursing assistant, some call it healthcare assistant, but for this, you are not just working in a care home, because a lot of times care workers, you work in care homes, but for this other group, you work in hospitals, you work in more clinical roles. Then we also have the one we call palliative care. This one is a very distressing kind of care, but monetarily it actually pays a lot more. So for this one, you are supporting people that are in life-threatening situations. So people that are nearing the end of their life, they are almost going to, so you're going to be supporting them. It's of course more difficult and intensive. Maybe that's why it actually pays quite high. So that's that for palliative care work. Then there are still various other aspects of support or care work. For instance, mental health support. My favorite. I love it, because even though it can be very stressful, because the day you find problem, you will know, God forbid, but the day you meet an individual that is, can't even begin to start talking. Most mental health support, they can be quite easy until there is now a challenge. But I actually enjoy it because I enjoy mental health. Today I'm smiling. Yeah, I enjoy mental health. So mental health support, you support people that have mental health difficulties. There's some other parts of support, like supporting people with autism or different forms of learning disabilities. There could be for physical disability. So it's just very varied. So those are the types that I would talk about. I won't talk about pay because it just fluctuates. Some people get paid more if they choose to be like bank staff or agency staff, but then if you choose to be an agency staff, you don't have that permanence of a permanent staff. So you can choose whichever you want that fits whatever you want. Hey besties, I've talked a lot too, and if you are enjoying this video, I want to see the like. If you are currently a care or support worker, let me know, like, which of these roles do you actually occupy? Which one have you done? Which one have you not done? And before I go on to the final bit, which is the documents you need as a healthcare worker, I want to let you know about my course, Land Your Dream Job course. Whether you want to be in the healthcare industry, a corporate job, a skill trade job, if you want to have your best chance at getting the job, especially if you are even looking for visa sponsorship, see, run, do not walk. Look at the link in the description box. I could even put it in the comment section. You will see the link. Go and purchase that course. It is me that made that course with all the love and knowledge that I have about interviews. I talked about a lot of things. Let me not just talk too much about it. Go and check out the course before before the price increases, because it will. So now to the last bit, the documents you need as a healthcare worker. Well, this part I'll talk about 5 main documents, but 4 of them are not unique to the healthcare industry. They are generic to any industry you want to be in. So the first is your right to work. So if you are in the UK, whether you are here on a skilled worker visa, a student visa, dependent, however you are here, you need to prove that you have the right to work in the UK, and you would usually prove that by having a share code. Now there are 2 kinds of share code. In this context, you will need the one you will give your employer. So if you are new to the UK and you are wondering what is she talking about, just go and Google how to get my share code in the UK, and you will see the UK government website, and you put your details and you get your share code. That is the code you would give your prospective employer, because when they ask you what's your share code, that there is a particular code. It's from that code they will check whether you are legally meant to work in the UK. So now the second document is your NI, which is your national identification number. That is also a document you need for any kind of job, and to get that, go and Google how to get my NIN in the UK. You will see the link and you will make your application. The third document is your bank account. Of course, if you are working, how would they pay you? It is through your bank account, so that's very important. Fourth document is your DBS. Now DBS is extremely important because you are supporting vulnerable people, and you have to ensure that you are fit to support those people. As such, you will be required to have a DBS. For all the organizations I've worked in, I've never had to do my DBS myself. They've done it and they paid for it. But I think if you want to be like an agency worker, you would need to do your DBS yourself, and you can also enroll in the DBS renewal system, and that will just help you. Now the fifth and final document is your care certificate. If you don't have a care certificate, still apply for jobs, but to increase your chances, it is important to have some care certificates. And you can just have one care certificate, but the modules should be things like moving and handling, first aid, those basic things. Florence is a good care certificate to have, although previously it used to be free. Now I've heard that you need to pay some money to access it. If you know any free one, please let us know in the comment section so we can help everyone. But as much as you can, get care certificates. Now, if you want to go into mental health, I would highly encourage you to get your PMVA. It is, hey, if you want to go into mental health, I want to make good money, go and get your PMVA. It sets you apart amongst the rest. But that's if you want to go into mental health though. But if it's just generic healthcare, you can just get some care certifications. So that's all I can remember, my besties. And for today's challenge, I want you to make a list of every single thing you need for being a healthcare worker. And if you don't have anyone, please go and get it. And I'm going to see you, my loves, in the next video. Check the description box for all the links, including my course link. Until next time, my loves, stay blessed, remain happy, and bye, besties.